This is my new favorite bag, and I'm loving it. So let's check it out. This controller is a chunker, and in no way does it try to hide that. Thankfully, not only does she prefer it, you will actually find it feels better that way too. The Cololight Colo Play may seem like a tongue twister at first because frankly it is, but it's one of words and for good reason. One being it may be one of the heaviest keyboard macro controllers that you'll ever own, paired with what may be the most satisfying clicky buttons too. This is like having a mission control center that actually feels like you're flipping a switch or activating machinery with every click. And when paired together, connected to your computer of choice, not only does the built-in screen offer a variety of infographics, each button and dial can be customized to control whatever you want on the fly. Using the included software, you can simply go the copy and paste route or go ham and launch programs and control connected devices too. Combine that with the range of applications you can display on the screen, and this, which is exactly what it sounds like, metaphorically at least, because who wouldn't want to enter Super Saiyan mode, which basically highlights the 4 modes that will keep you super productive, with my favorite going to the remote PC power button, if not only to feel like a total astronaut. And when paired with their lighting accessories, it becomes the all-in-one solution to pretty much control your whole desk setup. So basically what I'm saying is you can customize this to your liking and get pretty creative with it too, even if it's just as one of the most addictive fidget toys to annoy everyone else around you. It runs off a single USB-C cable with a built-in speaker and just surprisingly great craftsmanship with no creaking, loose pieces, and a really nice matte rubber finish paired with some glossy accents. The hefty weight and rubber feet means that it's a statement piece on your desk too, and I guarantee you won't be able to stop playing with it all night long. Finally, a tool to save your forearms from getting sore so you can save that energy for when you're alone at night. The Fanttik NEX E1 Pro may sound like it's from the future, and frankly even looks like it too, but thankfully it's got all the bits you need to fix all the problems you're having today. Whether it's your gizmos and gadgets that actually aren't working, or you just find it therapeutic to take things apart, this makes it so easy with just a push of a button. You're able to either unscrew or tighten without having to do an arm day workout for every little nut and bolt. It's USB-C rechargeable and can last 2 hours non-stop, something you and I both wish we could do. Plus, with the magnetic bit storage, full metal case, and overall premium feel, it makes it a no-brainer to just have one in your studio, with you on the go, or even part of your EDC, if you're already used to carrying long tools in your pants. Next up, we had a few major fidget toy deliveries, and when I say major, I mean in weight and price. Obviously, starting with the T-Max Ancient Iron Spinner, because if the name didn't sound heavy, I can assure you it most certainly feels accordingly. With what looks like octopus legs, once spun, the force pushes it out, giving it a wider look, and then a super satisfying completion sound too. The overall design feels like some sort of UFO with actual moving arms, but looking at the nitty-gritty, you'll consistently find new design details that will leave you in awe. But in the end, this is what you're really paying for. The sound, feel of the force, and knowing it can do this. However, for something a little more quick, the 01 EDC pop push slider is hard to describe in words or even show in video, but the best way to put it is like if you flicked open a box without actually touching it. The spring-loaded lever can hold closed, but with the right flick of the wrist, wha-bam! The best part is, if you listen closely, every nudge inwards is a ratcheting sound on its own, and when combined together, I personally could not put this one down, as it's easily one of the top 3 most satisfying fidget toys that I personally own now. However, for the simplest, most reliable, and just familiar feeling, this tiny keyboard and this FidgetThings Switch now allows you to take that feeling, sound, and satisfaction wherever you go. Plus, they customize mine to be one of a kind as well. Either you hate the feeling or just love the sound of one. The chamfered edges, exposed screws, and custom keycaps all make this worthy of a spot in your pocket, especially with how tiny it is. Plus, you can also go ham and grab some exotic metal ones too, because this will definitely be a conversation starter or a conversation ender if they don't understand what you mean when you say you spend all night lubing your keys. Now this is a grail watch to my collection. It's not super expensive, nor is it made of any fancy materials, but the Citizen D031 has a built-in radio, sort of. You'll need the battery pack to actually get it working, but you get the point. It's like an Apple Watch with actual buttons, switches, and dials. These are pretty rare without a single listing on eBay as of this recording, and to have found one in such amazing condition is even rarer. Plus, it's still got the sticker around back. Everything still feels well oiled and responsive, and there's something about tuning a radio that's on your wrist that will definitely make everyone jealous, even though you probably haven't listened to one for several years now. But thankfully, the watch part of it still works fine, and this one's going into my collection of watches that I like to stare at and probably will never actually wear. Speaking of gear I'll never use, I recently picked up a new G-Shock. But hang on, it's not what you think, because I only bought the watch, a DW6900 in this wicked black, if you're curious, for this, which they were including in every order. And being the EDC channel we are, we needed to have this subpar performing multi-tool with the G-Shock branding on it, because when else will you ever be able to say that you own a blade from G-Shock? However, even if it's not the best tool out there, the metal build still feels pretty capable. A thick bottle opener on one end, a tiny battery powered flip out flashlight beside that, great for reaching those tiny cracks and if you're afraid of the dark. Plus this Swiss Army like knife that can barely hurt yourself, but will cut through your Amazon packages with a little bit of force. Packed away though, it's about as tall as a pack of gum and just as thin too, making this one of the very few branded merch tools that could be worth carrying with you. Now for a real tool though, there's the Joe Knives LILBIT, which may be my new favorite product name, because not only is it accurate, it's just as fun to say than it is to use. Made mainly of a chunk of brass with some texture for grip, it's the magnetically attached sliding blade that you'll want this for. Not necessarily for being the most useful or functional one, because its tiny blade and lack of locking in place is pretty limiting, but the several layers you can adjust it to feels like, well, a fidget toy. While there are definitely safer ones out there, this is one of those kiss two birds with one stone type of situations, especially considering the back end of it also doubles as a pretty sturdy scraper tool too. Don't worry, the magnets won't lay you down or allow the blade to flick out on its own through my scientific shake test, and that goes for when it's dropped too. It's not perfect, but will keep in place if you don't constantly scientifically drop test it like I do. Basically, if you love X-Acto knives but thought they could be smaller, less usable, but funner, well, then this is the answer to that. And so, dreams can come true, kids. This might be the most controversial camera accessory that we've tested. You either love it or hate it. And personally for my style, the Peak Design micro clutch was exactly what I needed, with a few minor quirks. But basically, if you hate all things straps, this might be the next best thing to having no straps at all. Designed to only fit 2 or 3 fingers, it mimics how I naturally hold my camera while still giving me full control of it. Mainly because the trigger finger is freely able to move around, and my thumb having complete access to the backside, all with a single hand. The strap itself isn't thick or padded, but is lined with a soft suede-like texture. It doesn't cut into your skin and can accommodate a range of positions, even allowing you to confidently let go of your several $1,000 setup. Now the plate though is where it's really a hit or miss. While they offer an L and straight bracket, it covers the battery door no matter the device, which can be annoying if you're shooting all day, but their solution is having a built-in tool to easily move the plate around. So I get why many people would be annoyed that they have to do that at all. However, it does work with their existing ecosystem of quick release accessories too. Honestly though, when paired with my X100V point and shoot camera, it's the perfect camera setup that I didn't know I needed. There's a 69% chance that you don't need this, but on the other 36% chance you do, well, the KATSU FS01 folding sickle is probably the only sickle I've ever used or seen available, let alone with this super cool flip out lock system too. And while it's commonly mistaken as a tool to poke things, it's actually traditionally, culturally, and correctly meant to be used as an inward pulling force, like a hook and pull action you may commonly find done when it's used as an agriculture tool. So while it may look simple, there's definitely a skill to using it effectively that even I'm I'm still learning to utilize. However, the carbon fiber definitely makes this historical item a little more modern, and the flick out access lock is just as cool to perform as well, albeit a little on the risky side if not done with care. Overall, in the hand, it just feels like a total package that's complete with a shark tail like tool for emergencies that do require a little more of a poking action. It's not one I'd recommend carrying around all day, but certainly a conversation starter at your next weekend shindig. Now, I've personally tested a lot of bags, but as simple, affordable, and a little impractical as this one is, it's quickly become one of my favorites. Made of a canvas material, which is actually the perfect material that looks and feels like an actual McDonald's paper bag. It's not super spot on in every aspect, but I went into buying this assuming it was more for the novelty. Functionally though, the inside is lined with a black canvas, so it won't easily fall apart no matter what sharp, large, or daily essential gear you're carrying around. It feels like it can take a beating. However, I'm not a huge fan of this rope strap as it can start to dig into you. But honestly, who cares? You will definitely be the talk of the town, and I'm loving it.
Comment what your go-to meal is, but that's it. I rest my bag. Yeah. This is now my lunch. I know.